years ago, I loaded a chainsaw, hand tools, and supplies into a canoe, then paddled 5 days into the wild to resume an adventure in Alaska started by my great-grandfather a generation before I was born. Since buying a tiny piece of boreal forest, I've learned where to find clean water, the seasonal rhythms of hunting and fishing, and built a log cabin. I also learned a bunch about solar power to keep camera batteries charged and got certified as a satellite internet installer to set up minimal communications. With the basics of food, water, and shelter coming from the local wild and a small dose of technology working, I shifted focus to expanding my knowledge of the wider ecosystem. I'd been exploring an adjacent river valley by boat the last few summers, and in a rare opportunity, the area I was coming to love was briefly opened up to staking raw land. I jumped at the chance and ventured alone into the shadow of Mount Denali for 3 months during the coldest Alaskan winter in decades. The trip from my cabin to the staking area would take me over the rivers and through the woods of more than 100 miles of mostly untracked remote country. After days of scouting, I found what I was looking for, which was an isolated hill with a creek and covered with big birch and spruce, unlike the first cabin high above the floodplain. Then it was time for the real work to start. Living off the grid with no rent or mortgage is a dream many weirdos like you and I share. And I get that land isn't free, tools aren't free, and you might not be able to salvage enough material wherever you live to build a cabin for the $125 it cost me. But it's important to note that I'm not some superhuman badass. If a computer nerd, art, and business school dropout like myself, who lived on a sailboat and half my life in cities, can pull this off, there's a reasonable chance you could figure it out too. But if you think you can't, follow me on the next stage of the journey, and I bet I can prove a few of you wrong. So let's do experiments and build some things.